G'day, it's Jeff and Wilma at Budrum, and we've just made some bread from our homegrown Queensland arrowroot and also some Queensland nuts, also known as macadamia nuts. So we made some loaves of bread as well as some artisan bread. Over here we've got more artisan bread and some bread rolls, and we're going to show you how we made it. So I'm just going to harvest some of this Queensland arrowroot, and I'll just cut through there. That's one bit of it. You've got to keep this moist the whole time that you're cutting it, because it oxidises very quick. So I'll just keep a little bit of a trickle of water on it. So I'm just chopping this up into small pieces big enough to go in the garlic crusher. Keeping it moist the whole time because it does oxidise fairly quick. Just cracking some macadamia nuts, Queensland nuts that is. A bit of a barter. We swapped some honey and people gave us some macadamia nuts off their tree. So we had this simmering for about 30 minutes. I'm just going to drain the water out.
Oh, so you're not mashing them as such?
No, just put them all through the garlic crusher. It's surprising how quickly you can get it done. So I'm making myself a poolish. So I'm going to put in 700 mils of water. This is rainwater at room temperature. A quarter of a teaspoon of instant dry yeast. 700 grams of strong baker's flour. All you do is just mix that through. Cold outside, it's winter time here, and so I'm just going to sit this in the lounge room where the fireplace is. Let it sit overnight with the cupboard with a tea towel. Just cutting these Queensland nuts into smaller chunks. Probably getting about 8 pieces out of a whole nut. So I'll just keep on doing that.
We're making bread and the kookaburra just flew into the window looking for some meat. He didn't hurt himself, so he's just sitting there patiently waiting. Oh, isn't he beautiful?
Yeah, he is. And have a look at our poolish. So our poolish is nice and bubbly, ready to use. I'm going to add 300 mils or grams of skim milk, 300 grams or mils of water, just rainwater, 2/3 of a cup of the chopped macadamia or Queensland nut, 4.5 teaspoons of sea salt that we made. I'm going to add 2 cups of this Queensland arrowroot mash, and that's 1. I'm going to put in about 30 mils of olive oil. I haven't added any more yeast to this because we've made the poolish. So the 1/4 of a teaspoon of instant dry yeast we put in is all we're going to use. Hang on, I've got to add some more flour. Dear me. I forgot to add my extra flour, so what I need is 1.4 kilos of extra flour.
Thought it looked a bit runny.
Now with a clean hand I can mix it all up.
Looks a bit better.
And turn it into a dough and use my hand as a mixing machine. I'm going to mix this up until it comes away from the side of the bucket. So I've decided what to do is, it is a bit dry. What I'm going to do is add 50 more mils of water and 50 more mils of milk. So I'm ready to turn this out onto my floured surface. It turned out quite sticky after that extra water and milk. Cope with that alright. So all I'm going to do now is a bit of flour. I'm just going to knead this for about 12 minutes. Just adding a bit of flour as I need it. So this has turned into a beautiful dough. What I'm going to do now is spray my bucket with a bit of cooking spray. Put my dough in there and put a bit of spray on top of the dough, and then cover it up and put it in a warmish spot, not too hot, just a warmish spot, and let it double or even treble in size. So have a look at our dough here. So I'd say that's doubled or even trebled in size. I'm just going to turn this out and do what you do with the artisan bread. Just going to do a stretch and fold. Have a look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
What I'm going to do is scale out 2 loaves of bread, 800 grams each. Get my scales. And what I'll do is put this back in the bucket. Let that rise again. Now what I'm going to do is just pre-form the loaves. And let them rest for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. 2 bread pans, I'm just going to give them a quick spray with some cooking spray. Flour on my hands. Just kind of just much do what I do with the artisan bread. Just fold it over and do that with it. But what I'm going to do is roll it in some sesame seeds. And I've got some heap of sesame seeds here. Just going to stick them in those. I'm just going to cover them up and let them proof for about 30 or 40 minutes and preheat the oven at 230 degrees centigrade. So the next 2 loaves I might just make them as artisan bread, so I'm just dusting these bannetons in readiness for it. So these have been proofing for about 40 minutes. I'm just going to give them a couple of scores and then put them straight in the oven. So I'm going to set my timer for 6 minutes and also have a dish with some hot rocks in it on the bottom tray. I'm going to put a quarter of a cup of water in there. Give us a bit of steam and it'll give us a bit of a crust on the bread. And what I'll do is I'll rotate these around 180 degrees and give them another 6 minutes. What I'm going to do now is turn them around 90 degrees, and I'm going to reduce the heat down to about 160 and give it another 6 minutes. So the phone rang, and so what I did was I gave it another 6 minutes and I rotated those pans around 180 degrees. We just reversed them. Okay. Well, let's have a look at this bread, see how it turned out. This one looks alright too. I don't think they need any more time, do they?
No.
So I'm just going to put this bartered in there. See how that goes. All lots of 5 minutes. Well, there's our bread. So we've got our 2 loaves and our 1 artisan bread. Over here we've got a bit more. So that's the last 2 I took out of the oven. A couple of bread rolls, more artisan bread. What I might do is just cut a couple of slices and see what it looks like. In the toaster, or do you want to try a bit now?
Yeah, I'll just try a bit of the crust.
I made some toast out of some, and I've had 1 piece. Just put some of my mango jam on there, and the taste is absolutely beautiful. So you had some, didn't you, woman?
Yes, I had the crust and it was lovely.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later. Bye.